Good morning and welcome to the Bud Show. Here we go. Happy Father's Day. It is Sunday. I just come from church and singing and stuff like that. So I wanted to do a little testimony of what happened to me the other night and talk about a vision that I had this morning. But I want to go through a testimony. I have a brother. Well, I have a brother, two brothers and a sister. And we're kind of being pulled apart because of money, greed, and all things that happened in the past and stuff like that. But I have one brother that's going to go through some surgeries and some medical issues and stuff like that. And I've been trying to help him out for many years, and we are close and everything like that. So, but he doesn't want to go to church. He has the I don't want to say the word, but he thinks that I don't have to go to church because I could just pray myself and that's all I need to do. And yes, I kind of went overboard with explaining to him the reasons we need to go to church, the reasons we need to listen to hear God and go and be in a congregation of people, and it's a place of peace and shelter and all these things. And I try to explain that to him, and he just does not get it. Now, I did cite a lot of different things out of the Bible to explain to him how our church is. It's the Phillipsburg Alliance Church. And I'm very deeply saddened because, my brother's going through, this cancer scare, and all these things are going on, and it bothers me. And I feel that I have pushed him further away from me now. But the Lord speaks to me and tells me the same thing. He says, you cannot push somebody to become a Christian. You can't push someone to be a follower of Jesus and God. I understand that. But I know also that time is running out for all of us. And I do not want to hear or find out one day that my brother did not make it into heaven because of his stubborn ways. I know this because, I'm his brother. I was the same way. I was hurt by the church. I was hurt by people in the communities and the way people treated each other, and I didn't get the things that I wanted in my life. But then I found out those things weren't important to begin with. The only thing that's important in your life is God. Let me say that again so you understand. The only important thing in life for you and me and everyone, including your animals and pets and your relatives and your aunts, your uncles, is God. Man will never take care of you. Man will just destroy you. They'll put their arm around you and stab you in the back right off the bat because they think that they can step onto you to get to where you want to go before them. That's wrong. But I am saddened today about that, and I am, I'm waiting to let whatever is going on in his mind be settled. I feel bad about that. I mean, people look at me and they say things, oh, you know what you're talking about. You just make stuff up. There's nothing, that stuff isn't in the Bible. It is in the Bible. But the problem is we, as people, want to interpret what is written by God. We want our own truths to be read in the Bible, and it is not that way. But we also mistake the words in the Bible and think that, all right, well, I think Jesus is talking about this, so that responds to me. No. That's why going to church and being around everyone else in the congregation and knowing people and being friends with each other and helping each other when we have problems, or if we're trying to figure out how to interpret something or understand something in life. It's not just going to church and then you just pray there and you go out. It's more than that. It's always been more than that. Certain churches are sticking to the old traditions and made up their own traditions. And this is why a lot of people walk away from these churches and think that they can do this on their own. I know for a fact that that is not true. Because when you pull yourself away from God, the devil steps in and takes over. And you won't even realize that the devil is the one that is pulling you away from God further and further and further. Because you're thinking, I am superior, I know better than anyone else, and I can tell the difference between God and the devil. Guess what? You can't. I found that out many times. That's why I confirm every single thing that is shown to me, said to me, or made for me to see. It's that simple, folks. But I just wanted to say that, and if my brother is actually watching this or comes across this video someday, this is what I feel in my heart. I'm trying to help you and save you at the same time from all your anguish and everything, the pain and suffering that you go through every day that sometimes you put on yourself. I know that because we're brothers. We do the same thing. I just don't want you to be going down the wrong path, because I see that. So I'm going to end that right there. It's a little disturbing to me. So the Lord showed me something this morning which kind of was, I've never thought about or anything like that. My wife, just to go back and give you a backstory on it, my wife and I have been tinkering with the idea of a program called Basic Needs. Now, we are either going to do this through the church or we're going to do this through our own way. And people that have lost their homes or been kicked out of their homes or homeless, whatever the situation is, we were trying to do some kind of a program where we would give them hygiene products, toilet papers, things like that, like as a starter package for them in the meantime from being out of their house and then getting back into their routine, their house and everything like that, and jobs. That's kind of what we wanted to do. We had a big fire up in Pennsylvania, or in Easton, I'm sorry, at least a month ago, where all these row houses were burned out. All these people were burned out of their houses. And unfortunately, we haven't started anything yet, but for me, the Lord is saying, this is what I want you to do. I'm showing you things. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be difficult for you to start this and implement it and help people with it. I know there's a lot of difficulties. I know that. But nothing's easy in life. We know that. All the time we know that. There's nothing easy in life. If it was easy, then we'd be, fat, dumb, and stupid. Some of us are anyway. But anyway, so I had this vision and a dream. First, it was at a fire scene. Now, I was a former firefighter, EMT, for 33 years combined. And so it was, at a fire scene, and my wife and I pulled up with this long trailer, and the words that the Lord used to me was canteen or cantina. So back in a long time ago, when firefighters had a fire, they would bring what they call a cantina wagon. And what it would be is like a stagecoach kind of thing or something like that. And they would give food out, water out, and different things for the firefighters and the first responders, so they can relax and do that. And I don't know why he put that in my mind, because that's something I never even thought about. So he showed me that, and then it went from like a kitchen kind of cantina thing, or what we call a food truck today, to something more along the lines of the Basic Needs program that I want to start. And what it is basically having the clothing and water and different things like that would come right to the disaster scene or the emergency or the fire or whatever after it's done, and give these things to the people for free. Now, I know there's a lot, my biggest problem right there and right then is, how do I do it? How do I partner up with somebody, with the church, or do I do it by ourselves? how do we get funding to keep doing that? Do we do it through donations? How do we do that? All these things. And for some reason, I feel like the Lord has turned me this way now and go the opposite way of where you're going. Because, I put a lot of money and time and invested into what I was doing was emergency preparedness stuff and military surplus and stuff, which I sell here and there and on eBay and different places. But I don't know if it's just because I'm tired of doing it and it just costs me a lot of money, or if it's just fading out. But I've always said to the Lord that I wanted to help people, make a difference in people's lives. And I think now He's given me little pieces of the puzzle, so I can put these pieces in the puzzle and go, oh, now I kind of understand where it's going. All I ever wanted to do in my whole life was just to go and help people. And right away, a lot of people go, oh, you can't do that because you're going to need money. You're going to have to be a corporation, LLC, and 501c, and this, and all these things like that. But I come back to the same thing. I go, why do I need to be all that? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart to give to others. And I have the point of the knowledge to say to myself, I am not doing this so I get into heaven. I'm doing this because we are supposed to love each other, care for each other, and not hate each other, because the world wants us to hate each other. I want to do something for people in this world, because I had a lot of problems growing up. A lot. And those of you that really don't know me, my real name is Elmer. And imagine what that was like back in the 70s, being picked on all my life. But I became a good person out of that, because I didn't turn down the wrong road. I turned where God pulled me away and said, follow this, go down this path. And I did. And I want to continue that now into my adult life, until I can't do that anymore. So I hope you can pray for me and our family and our church to maybe get this off the ground and go somewhere with it. This is what I ask. I thank you for your time. I appreciate everything you've done. I want to give you a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And may God bless you, and may God bless America. I love you guys. I pray for you. Let's move forward in life and let go of the world, and be who God made you to be. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.